Everyone. This is our final presentation. We are group number 7. So for this, the topic is data acquisition from remote source and generating visualizations. Next. So we are group 7 and our group members are Mahinthan, who is a developer, Syed Numan, whose role is a data analyst, Digvijay is business analyst, Harishma as business analyst as well, and myself as a project manager. Next slide. Yes, so I'll be giving a brief introduction about our project. So the project is executed by using JavaScript and Python, and it includes the possession of data source located remote, and we have acquired data. Then we have stored it into cloud database. So here's a little project summary. So the study illustrates the data acquisition techniques. It also includes the use of different languages databases. So the technology in this project is Python 3, HTML5, CSS, jQuery script, Flask framework, MongoDB, and Heroku. Now my friend Harishma will take over from here.
Well, I'm gonna give explanation of exhibition of how data source. We have chosen a remote source URL to acquisite the data, and here we have developed the data by using the Python core. The URL of website is indicated in the code of reading the data. Here we can see the core, the Python code clearly how we have developed the data and serialization into JSON. Here is a remote URL we have used in developing the data, and here the URL contains the data regarding GitHub commit events. Here is the clear picture of the data, how we have developed the program by using the Python. And the retrieving data from the remote source is shown as output. And after retrieving the data from the remote source, we use the cloud database to store the data, and the database which we have used as a is MongoDB to store the acquired data in the cloud using Python. But due to some incompatible errors, we couldn't able to insert data successfully. Here you can see the code which we have developed by storing the data in the database. From here, Mahinder is gonna explain. Thank you.
Thank you, Charisma. Okay, from here, I'm gonna take over the presentation. Yeah, due to some incompatible errors, we couldn't insert the data of GitHub commit events data source into the cloud DB. So we've chosen different API URL to get the data and insert into the MongoDB. This is the code section we used. So I can show the live demonstration of the code that we used. This is the code we used. This is the URI, and getting the URI, and we serialize the data into JSON, then we insert it into the MongoDB. So here we can see the data is inserted into MongoDB under the CryptoDB and the Bitcoin price table, right? Now I'm gonna switch to presentation. Yes, next slide. As I show in browser, this is the a screenshot of our data, our inserted data into MongoDB. Next slide. So this is the code segment of our Flask web application. We developed a Flask web application using Python with the Flask framework. Okay, I will show those code segments and other files in the VS Code IDE. So I'm gonna share the VS Code. Yeah, here we go. So here, this is the main file. This is the file will be executed when we run the program at very first. So this will render to the home page. Home page is implemented in index.html. This is index.html uh, code segments. We used Bootstrap and few JavaScript code to do some styling and Neva implementations. And this is a page for charts. This is the page is used to display the charts and the data visualization within our web app. So that's all. So I can give a live demo of our web app. Um, So when we run the web app, that will be hosted in this URL. When we go to URL, let me share the browser link. Yeah, I hope here you can see the web app interface of the web app. This is the home page. When user click on charts, user can view the charts and the MongoDB interface as well. So let me back to presentation. Okay, I'm sharing the presentation again. So yes, here we go. As I shown in IDE, these are the code segments of every file within the Flask web app. Yeah, this is our web app user interface. This is a button. User can click this button and get data from the MongoDB, and this is page for visualization. When user click on chats, they they will be redirected to this page and they can see the data visualizations. And next, I would like to invite my friend Syed to take over the presentation.
Thank you, Mahinthan. So here we can see that we push the data through the bash, our remotely acquired data into the Heroku into the Heroku platform as a service. So while doing that, we encountered an error, which is internal server error. So Mahinthan, can you please show the demonstration? So when we click on open apps, so we encountered this error during while connecting Echo to the Flask, and so we decided onto the presentation, please. We decided to a new data set from Kaggle. The data set is about coronavirus, which was the data about the coronavirus that report, which is through the year 2019, and we used the visualizations. To create the visualizations, we used Power BI report builder, and we imported the data into the SQL Server Management Studio for the manipulation and cleaning and and for the analysis. So now we're gonna demonstrate data set, our data set in the SQL SSMS. So this is the code for the SQL code to select the top 1,000 rows, and we have the SQL code to view the top five debt rates, top regions which reported which has a highest debt rate, and the view for top five regions for highest recovery rate. So here is the table for that, and here is the visualizations. So here we can see that France and US reported has the top recovery rate, and in the next in pie chart we can see that zero recovery rate in these regions. The top one was Guadeloupe, followed by Martinique, and zero death rate were reported in Indonesia and followed by Macau. So here on, I'd like to invite Digvijay to carry on the presentation.
Thank you so much, Syed, to have me here. So these are the challenges we have faced during this project. So one of them was when we were trying to apply the Flask web app in Heroku platform. It was just raising the internal server error. And the second thing was just when we are trying to connect the MongoDB database with the Flask web app, but it was not being operated in our local machine because of some environmental issues, environmental variable issues, and some new updates. As we deploy the application outside of developer's local machine, it should be able available for everyone. And as we have used Heroku as very first, it was a platform as a service, and that enables developers to build, run, and operate applications entirely in the cloud system. As I've talked, we were not able to run Flask web application in Heroku, but we have tried to acquire the data sets from remote sources, and also there the Mongo database and the Flask web application won't be able to work together. So we have used another cloud database to acquire data and store that in that cloud database. Thank you so much, sir, to have us here. And it was our presentation and made by our group. Thank you.